Hey guys, Sonic Smash Bros. Here, and King of Games is done once again for this month for Speed Duel, with a bit of a first. Yusei and Jack are finally joining forces in one combined deck. Because both of their Assault Mode skills are pretty much identical, Yusei can run all of the same cards that Jack can. So, for the first time, we are doing a double deck profile. This is Stardust, Red Dragon Archfiend, Assault Mode, with both of the Assault Mode skills, starting with Assault Star Acceleration. You can only use the skill's second and third effects once per duel. First effect is just the bonus. You can normal summon an Assault Mode activate monster, well, one that mentions it, that is, in addition to your normal summoner set per turn, and can activate Assault Mode activate from your hand during your turn, but you cannot synchro summon level 9 or higher synchro monsters except for dragon monsters. Second effect, first activatable effect, reveal an Assault Mode activate or a card that mentions it in your hand, then shuffle the 2 cards from your hand into the deck, then draw the same number of cards. The third effect is the only thing that differs between Yusei and Jack here. For Yusei, if only your opponent controls a monster, play Stardust Dragon or Junk Archer from your extra deck and face down defense position, its battle position can be changed. Now for Jack, his, as mentioned, is a little bit different. In his case, if only your opponent controls a monster, play Red Dragon Archfiend or Scar Dragon Archfiend from your extra deck and face down defense position, battle position can be changed. So, minor difference here, but that's not enough to really make 2 separate profiles, so we're doing both of these together. So now onto the deck proper, starting with Stardust Dragon Assault Mode. Cannot be normal summoned or set, must first be special summoned with Assault Mode activate, and cannot be special summoned by other ways, except by its own effect. When a card or effect is activated, quick effect, you can treat this card, negate the activation. If you do, destroy that card. During the end phase, if this effect activated successfully, you can special summon it from your graveyard, and when this card in the field is destroyed, you can target a Stardust Dragon in your graveyard and special summon that target. Now for the partner in crime and long-standing rival. Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode, which I only just now realized can be Circle Crimson Gaia to proc the second skill effect. Well, first by all technicality, but anyway. Cannot be normal summoned or set, and cannot be special summoned except by Assault Mode activate. If this card attacks, destroy all of the monsters after damage calculation, and when this card in the field is destroyed, you can special summon a Red Dragon Archfiend from your graveyard. That includes Scar Dragon Archfiend and Scarlight, if you want to be really funny. So, on to the Red Dragon Archfiend package, starting with Triple Soul Resonator. If this card is normally special summoned, you can add a level 4 or lower Fiend monster from deck to hand, except for Soul Resonator. Also, you can't special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn, except for Dark Synchro monsters. If a card or cards you control will be destroyed by card effect, while you control Red Dragon Archfiend or a synchro monster that mentions it, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. Each effect is once per turn. Triple Assault Sentinel, so we pivot over to the Assault Mode staff. You can tribute this card, special summon a monster from your hand or deck that specifically lists Assault Mode activate in its text, except for Assault Sentinel. Also, you can't special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except for synchro monsters. You can target a face-up monster you control. Reveal a synchro monster from your extra deck, and if you do, the targeted monster's type and attribute become the same as the revealed monsters until the end of this turn. Each effect is once per turn. We're literally just tributing this thing. We don't care about the other effect, ever. Crimson Resonator. If you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. If the only other monster you control is exactly one Dark Dragon type synchro monster, you can special summon up to 2 Resonator monsters from your hand or deck except for Crimson Resonator. You can only use each effect once per turn, and you cannot special summon any monsters from the extra deck except for Dark Dragon type synchro monsters the turn you activate either of this card's effects. If you've done so prior, it won't activate. Triple Psi Reflector. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add 1 Assault Mode activate or a card that mentions it in its text from deck to hand, except for Psi Reflector. You can reveal an Assault Mode activate in your hand and target a monster in your graveyard that specifically lists the card in its text, except for Psi Reflector, special summon it, and if you do, increase its level by 1 to 4. Each effect is once per turn. Bone Archfiend is up next. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can send one other card from your hand or field to the graveyard, special summon this card. Also, you can't special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except for Dark Dragon type synchro monsters. You can target one face-up monster you control that has a level. Send 1 Fiend Tuner from your hand or deck to the graveyard, and if you do, increase or decrease that monster's level by 1. Each effect is once per turn, and this thing is really good as always. Assault Beast, you can discard this card to the graveyard to add Assault Mode activate from deck to hand. Very straightforward. Vision Resonator. If a level 5 or higher Dark monster is on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon Vision Resonator once per turn this way. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add a spell or trap card that mentions Red Dragon Archfiend from your deck to your hand. This effect is also once per turn. Synchron Resonator. If a Synchro monster is on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. You only special summon Synchron Resonator once per turn this way. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target a Resonator monster in your graveyard except for Synchron Resonator, add it to your hand. That is not a once per turn, by the way. And lastly, for monsters, we do have Tuning Gum. That first effect we don't care about, but I'll read it off anyway. You can target a face-up monster you control. It's treated as a tuner this turn, and you can only use this effect once per turn, and you can only attack with Synchron monsters. During the turn you activate this effect, we do not care about any of that whatsoever. The only thing we care about is the second effect. During either player's turn, when a card or effect is activated that targets exactly one Synchron monster you control and no other cards, you can banish this card from your graveyard and negate the activation. On to spells and traps, starting with the Triple Forbidden Droplet. Send any number of other cards from your hand and or field to the graveyard, choose that many effect monsters your opponent controls, and until the end of this turn their attack is halved, also their effects are negated. In response to this card's activation, your opponent cannot activate cards or the effects of cards with the same original type, monster, spell, or trap respectively, as the cards you sent to the graveyard to activate this card. One Forbidden Droplet activation per turn. So, we kinda need this. It has good synergy with Scar Dragon Archfiend if absolutely necessary, and it's one of Jack's, at least, only ways to force monster interactions. Yeah, we do kinda need this, unfortunately, but what can you do? Triple Crimson Gaia. During your main phase, you can add Red Dragon Archfiend, or a card that mentions it, from deck or graveyard to hand, except for Crimson Gaia. When your Red Dragon Archfiend declares an attack, you can change all monsters your opponent controls to face down defense position. If a monster or monsters on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon a Red Dragon Archfiend from your graveyard. Each effect is once per turn, and it's all on one card. Need I say more? Triple Resonator Call. Add a Resonator monster from deck to hand. I was at one point playing Fire Formation Tenki, but I ended up preferring having as many Soul Resonator copies essentially as possible over more Assault Mode starters. Yes, this means only a fifth of the deck is Assault Mode starters, but we have a way to combo in case we don't see them. Scarlet Security. If you control Red Dragon Archfiend, destroy all spell and trap cards your opponent controls. And now on to traps, starting with Fiendish Chain. Activate this card by targeting an effect monster on the field. Negate the effects of that face-up monster while it is on the field. Also, the face-up monster cannot attack. When it is destroyed, destroy this card. Along with its partner in crime, the Fiendish Golem. Target a monster on the field with 2,000 or more attack points, finish it until the end phase of the next turn. Then if you activate this card, while you control the Red Dragon Archfiend or a Synchro monster that mentions it, you can set a Fiendish Chain directly from your deck or graveyard. So, Chain hardly comes up, because you're not activating it on the same turn unless you hard draw it. But when it does, it's really good, and if needed, you can use it to pitch for Droplet. And lastly, Assault Mode Activate. Tribute one Synchro monster, special summon an Assault Mode monster, whose name includes the tributed monster's name from your deck in attack position. Onto the extra deck, almost everything's exactly the same, there's only one card that changes and I'll go over that at the end. So we're starting things off with Red Nova Dragon. This card gains 500 attack points for each tuner monster in your graveyard, and cannot be destroyed by an opponent's card effects. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can target the attacking monster, banish this card, if you do negate that attack. During the next end phase, special summon this card banished by this effect. Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. During the player's turn, you can target a face-up card your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of its turn. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can target one tuner monster in your graveyard, special summon it in defense position. Each effect is once per turn. Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon. If this card is Synchro Summon, you can special summon a level 2 or lower tuner monster from your graveyard. During the main phase with effect, you can tribute this card, special summon a Stardust Dragon from your extra deck, treat it as a Synchro Summon, then immediately after this effect resolves, literally Excel Synchro, using any monsters you control as material. You don't need to use Stardust Dragon. For the rest of the turn, the monsters Synchro Summoned by this effect, including the Stardust Dragon, are unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. Each effect is once per turn. Scarred Dragon Archfiend. This card becomes Red Dragon Archfiend while on the field or in the graveyard. If this card is sent from the monsters under the graveyard, you can special summon a Red Dragon Archfiend from your extra deck, treat it as a Synchro Summon. Then, if this card was sent to the graveyard as Synchro material for a Dark Dragon type Synchro monster, you can destroy all attack position monsters your opponent controls. This effect is once per turn. Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend also becomes Red Dragon Archfiend while on the field or in the graveyard. Once per turn, you can destroy as many special summoned effect monsters on the field as possible with attack less than or equal to this card, other than this card. Then, inflict 250 damage to your opponent for each monster destroyed. Originally it's 500, but again, the burn damage nerf that happened. But oh well, what can you do? Anyway, the OG, Red Dragon Archfiend. After damage calculation, if this card attacks a defense position monster your opponent controls, destroy all defense position monsters your opponent controls. During your end phase, destroy all the monsters you control that did not declare an attack this turn. This card must be face up on the field to activate and to resolve this effect. Stardust Dragon is up next. During either player's turn, when a card or effect is activated that destroy a card or cards on the field, you can trip this card to negate the activation. If you destroy that card, during the end phase of this activated successfully, you can special summon it from your graveyard, the classic. Good old Stardust Dragon's always withstood the test of time, after all. Red Rising Dragon. When this card is synchro summoned, you can target a resonator monster from your graveyard and special summon it. You cannot special summon any monsters from the extra deck the turn you activate this effect, except for Dark Dragon type synchro monsters. During your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard and target 2 level 1 resonator monsters in your graveyard, special summon both of them. We literally can't do that, not that we care. Now for the only card that differs. For Jack, we run Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Bane. You contribute 1 monster to target 1 Red Dragon Archfiend monster in your graveyard, and special summon that monster. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can special summon 2 tuner monsters with the same level, 1 from your deck and 1 from your graveyard, in defense position. Each effect is once per turn. Now, Yusei really doesn't have the room to run this. So what does he run in its place? Well, it should be pretty blatantly obvious what he runs, given how his skill works. Instead of Bane, he runs Junk Archer. Once per turn, you can target 1 monster your opponent controls and banish it. During the end phase of this turn, return to your opponent's side of the field in the same battle position. So in order to show the big combo, I kinda have to do, like, a random duel. Because I never actually got it off on the successful attempt. Nor did I get it off in either of the bonus replays I have. I originally had 3, but I ended up having to re-record this, and then I had to delete one of them to get room for all my KOG climb replays. Alright, so I'm gonna treat this as if I'm going first.
Let's rev it up!
Hey,
Duel.
Come on out! My turn is over. Good luck on yours.
So we'll just ignore the Assault Beast that's in hand, because, well, I kinda have no choice. Actually, let's mulligan it, shall we? Yeah, this'll be fun. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so all we need is an Assault Mode starter and Soul Resonator.
Need your help. I summon a monster. I activate my monster's effect.
We're gonna ignore the Droplin in our hand here for the moment.
I know what to do.
Tribute that to special summon the Side Reflector.
I activate my monster's effect.
Grab Assault Beast.
I activate my monster's effect. I activate my monster's effect.
Go ahead and increase it from level 4 to level 7.
I'm counting on you. I special summon.
You're seeing how the combo works. So now, we make Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon.
Need your help. I synchro summon.
While we can, that is.
I activate my monster's effect. Okay. I special summon a monster.
Next, I'm gonna play Resonator Call here to get Vision Resonator, because I want to have that ready for something.
Spell card.
We're once again still ignoring the Crimson and the Droplin in our hand here, because I want to show how this combo actually works.
Summon a monster. I activate my monster's effect.
So, with Soul, we grab Bone Archfiend. Pitching the Vision Resonator we just grabbed.
Activate my monster's effect. I'm counting on you. I special summon
That
a
triggers
monster.
Vision,
Activate my monster's effect.
which gets us Crimson Gaia.
From my
Crimson
hand,
Gaia
I activate a continuous spell. I activate a continuous spell.
will get us our Fiendish Golem. Now, because we already have Vision Resonator in the graveyard, in this case we mill Tuning Gum. Either way, we increase the level. I like to go for Bone Archfiend just in case. Next, we Synchro Summon Scarred Dragon Archfiend.
Okay.
As you can probably tell, Excel Synchro Stardust does have to be in the extra monster zone, but we'll worry about that later.
I'll set a card. I set a
So if we were going first, this would be really good.
I end my turn.
My turn. Draw.
my monster's effect.
So now we can tribute for
Coalesce into a
Stardust Dragon.
fine Stardust.
That allows us to synchro summon an unaffected Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss,
Okay. I synchro summon a monster.
which then
How's this for an answer?
allows us to float in with Scarred Dragon Archfiend's effect, and for good measure we can do Assault Mode activate, thus getting us our Stardust Dragon Assault Mode.
Appear, Stardust Dragon Assault Mode! The pulse of the ruler roars through the heaven, my friend!
And that also procs Crimson Gaia if there was any attack position monsters in play.
Activate a continuous.
During the opponent's turn. Need I say more?
Know what to do. I special
I
summon a
set a
monster.
monster. My turn is
My
over.
turn.
Good luck on yours.
I draw. I activate a continuous spell.
Yeah, I know this is overkill, but
From my hand, I activate a spell code.
like I care.
I set a card. I set a card. Battle. Go! My monster attacks. Go! I attack you directly. This is the strength of our bond. Attack! Stardust Dragon Assault Mode! Assault Sonic Bird!
And there we go.
Really thought I'd come out on top.
As a dupe.
So that's kind of an example of the main combo. I wish I actually got it going first, but what can you do? What can you do? Sometimes this happens. Don't mind the fact that Duel Quest is going on. But anyway, on to the replays proper. I do have a couple of bonus replays worth showing off. And for these, Jack is going to pivot in. So, let's get this started. We're starting this off with Eldritch. Yeah, you should know by now, Eldritch is one of my most hated decks of all time. Without question. And we're going first. That's not gonna do anybody any favors.
My soul. Remove. I shall bet you. It my soul.
So, I try to go for the big combo.
My trap activates.
Imperm.
I activate my monster's effect.
Now, normally I don't like going for doing things this way. Normally I like to just leave the tuning them in hand, but honestly, I didn't want to commit to Red Nova. I really didn't.
I activate a continuous spell. I synchro summon a monster. The king. Dark abyss unleashed.
So we'll just end up settling for this, which isn't very good of an end board.
Witness why I am known. My soul. Red Dragon Archfield's effect activates.
And I'm forced to burn the Soul Resonator, which makes things kind of rough. Now, in draw phase, you really need to negate the Temple of the Kings.
Your troubles have only begun. My monster's effect activates. I know all your moves.
So I end up goleming Abyss off the field to get Fiendish Chain in play.
I set my monster's effect activates.
Mainly because I just wanted to keep Abyss for later.
I special. I set. Let's cut you. My soul.
Yeah, don't try anything, buddy. It all goes back to Crimson Gaia, as I'm gonna say many times throughout this.
Look upon your doom. Come out. I special summon a monster. I activate my.
And now we're gonna attempt to pivot into the Assault Mode stuff properly.
I activate my monster's effect. Watch this. Come on out. I synchro
XL Synchro Stardust while we can. And we go Vision Resonator, which is the interesting play. Unaffected Bane. And so we go Assault Mode Activate. That's not gonna work, buddy. Nice try. And with one more Crimson Gaia, this all just goes boom. Yeah, I wasn't going to activate Crimson Gaia in that situation because Abyss would have came back. On the somehow off chance he survived by some means of cheese, I was ready. Anyway. For the last of these bonus replays before Jack steps aside so Yusei can take over, we got Despia. And you'll see the skill nerf in action here. It hurts a bit more than you'd think it would at first. Trust me.
I don't know. It's my turn. From my hand, I'm activating my monster.
Goes for a Luber. Theater of the Branded, Funny Tax Machine, go Burr. Allure of Darkness ends up doing nothing, and he ends up losing the beer in the process. Lamau, lol even. That's gonna force the Branded in red. Quaritis.
Now's my chance, okay. What's the right move?
Scarlet Security, Chain Droplet. Pitch 3. And I still have combo here. That's not gonna work.
This, I activate my monsters with the wings of wind. I sprawl. The king stop. This unleash. Hot red. I activate witness why I am known as the.
And so we also get out Red Dragon Archfiend. You know how this goes. Aluber is going to get stopped by Tuning Gun. Tax Dragon comes back. And hey! Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode gets to come up, even though it should have been Stardust Dragon Assault Mode, but come on! When it's guaranteed game, I'm going to flex. That's just how it be. Oh, he didn't save a line this time in this recording. Damn it! For those not in the know, he actually does state the original name of the attack, Extreme Crimson Force, simply because the Assault Mode special never got dubbed. Anyway, time for Yusei to pivot in for the climb proper. And, this was all kinds of bizarre. 3 attempts later, I got this absolute insanity of a run that should not have worked the way it did.
Each card has I'll prove that nothing. You'll learn Duel. It's Goat from my hand. I activate a spell.
So here's a classic case of just not getting the main combo. So if you're familiar with the usual Red Dragon Archfiend combo for Red Nova, it's that minus, you know, not being able to get a free Fiendish Chain on the opponent's turn to be played, like, right out the gate. So we'll just go Abyss, we'll get our Vision Resonator back, go into Red Nova, you know how this goes.
From my hand, I activate a quick play spell. I activate my monster's effect.
Eclipse, because Blue Eyes does not have any Limit 3s yet, and the ban list hasn't, you know, been announced at the time of this recording.
I activate my spell card, the Melody of Awakening Dragon. From my hand, I activate a spell.
And he has freaking Rhoda, too.
The Melody of Awakening Dragon. There's only one. I set a card face down. I activate my trap, Majesty of the White Dragons.
So this guy is fairly smart.
I'll play this. I special summon a monster. I activate my quick play spell, Ultimate Fusion. Fusion Summon. Equip and combine.
So that's annoying.
Fly it. Kaibaman, the legend. I activate Kaibaman, the legend's effect.
Now, realistically, he goes into Spirit Dragon, makes his board, goes into Black Rose Moonlight, and I can't stop him at that point. But he ran out of time. That's oddly hilarious to me. Just saying. That should not have went the way it did. Realistically, on all accounts, I should have lost. But you know what? We take what we can get. So, Rebecca, if you know her skill at this point, you know how infamous it is for so many FTKs. Fortunately, this is actually Dragon Toolbox. And I get a bit unlucky here. Yeah, I'm forced to just go for the standard Red Dragon Archfiend combos. So, it's time for standard Red Nova M board. So, pro tip, the moment you see Joan hit the field, you Fiendish Golem that thing on sight. You Fiendish Golem that thing on sight. I do not care. You do not ever let her get Graceful Charity. And we're just gonna stop Chamber Dragon Maid from doing its thing. Dragoon in the Armogram. This is a true Dragon Toolbox after all. So, we lost Abyss, but it all comes back to Crimson Gaia. It really does all just go back to Crimson Gaia. Oh, man. So, next up we have Winged Dragon of Ra, and as always, this matchup is annoying. You cannot in any way do your main combo, no matter how much you want to. If you want the Stardust Dragon Assault Mode M board and the Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss M board, well, this is all assuming you go first, that is. With the two together, you now also need Synchron Resonator in addition to your main combo. Fortunately, we went second. So, this is just standard Raw. I'm honestly sick of Raw at this point, so I have no reason to just constantly show this. Pay up the life points, make it 4,100 with the skill. goes the Immortal Phoenix route, plays Sphere Mode, and passes turn.
I choose Stardust power wait to be unleashed. Ready or I'm counting on you. I activate my monster. I know what to do. I activate my monster's effect. I activate my monster's effect.
So I end up just going Scarlight right away, and this might seem weird at first. Trust me, it definitely would seem like it.
I activate a continuous spell. From my
And that's just free droplet fodder right there, buddy.
From my hand, I activate a continuous spell. From my hand, I activate my monster's effect. I'm counting on you. I activate my monster's effect. I activate my monster. I know what to do.
Give up the Crimson
I
Gaia.
activate my monster. This can't be. Growing up on the streets.
Oh, right, now I remember why. I wanted to go
So every
straight into
card
Abyss.
led me to this
Or was I doing something else? I forget. Look, all I know is that went weird. And this, unfortunately, is not going to be a game because he scoops right away. Somehow he must have just bricked or something. I don't know what, but Speedroid, I guess. Or it would be if it wasn't an immediate scoop.
A duel? Witness the... With my card, you want to do? Let's duel. You're up as it...
Granted, this hand was really good. I just wish it was going first. But, what can you do? What can you do? Sometimes this just happens. And so, for the final game, we have quite the fitting matchup here. We've got Dark Magician, and this one turned out pretty good. I'm proud of how this played out. Minor misplays aside, honestly, I'd say I did pretty good here.
Let's the game. A duelist? Yugi, I'll duel. Let's the game.
That and a really janky hand, let's be honest.
I activate Illusion of Chaos's effect. Magician's Rod. I activate Magician's Rod's effect. I activate my field spell. I set a card. I activate Magician's Soul's effect. My ever-faithful... Magician's Salvation's effect. The Great Dark Magician.
And here comes the shenanigans.
I activate my quick play spell. Soul Servant. I activate my continuous spell. Dark Magical Servant.
And with combination in play, this means we got a full end board here.
I activate my quick play spell. With this, I end my turn. I draw. From my hand.
Triple Resonator Call, yeah, this was ridiculous.
From my hands. Combination. I activate.
And you just gave me free droplet fodder there, buddy.
Magician's Salvation's effect.
I don't know why you did that, but
I activate Magician's Rod's effect.
I especially don't know why you did it that way, but what can you do? What can you do?
Ready or... I activate Jump Archer's effect. I activate my continuous...
And gotta love baiting Eternal Soul, am I right?
I activate a spell card. I need your help. I activate my monster's effect. My monster's effect activates. I activate my
And
monster's
IP just isn't gonna activate.
I activate my monster.
For a while I was kind of debating what I wanted to do, but then I realized, wait, he didn't summon Dark Magician.
From my hand.
So he couldn't have banished Junk Archer, I couldn't have done the Red Nova version of the route. So, out comes Abyss.
Think we'll summon a monster. I activate
We
my
casually just float into RDA. We don't blow up the IP this time, as much as I would love to, because I want to make this a little more personal than that.
I'm not. I activate my monster.
Now, I'm going to negate Eternal Soul here for a reason.
I activate Apprentice Illusion Magician's effect.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
Archfiend's effect. Take
But that's not going to matter now, is it, buddy?
I cannot afford to lose. My monster and I activate Eternal Soul.
That's negated. Junk Archer moment. Let's go. And Stardust Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode with both Yusei and Jack's help in King of Games. And fun as this is, don't get me wrong, I have some stuff I need to mention. I do honestly think that this is the worst version of Red Dragon Archfiend. You'd rather just play Witness Why I Am Known as the True King. So, let me make this clear. Skill's really fun, has its power behind it, both versions of it in fact, but it also has equally important downsides, mostly due to just not having a 10th extra deck slot. The biggest one being in Jack's case, it's harder for him to force monster interactions because we don't have Junk Archer. Well, monster-related interactions anyway. Furthermore, in Yusei's case, he has to give up Bane, so he has a much worse recovery than Jack. It really just comes down to which of the poisons you prefer. Harder time forcing monster interactions without Droplet? Or would you rather have worse recovery? Both versions of the build are pretty much almost identical, so you can choose whichever one you want. However, I do think Witness Why I Am Known as the True King is simply just better for Red Dragon Archfiend. Reason being, as I will show here, you don't need nearly as many cards. You also aren't clogging up your deck with Assault Mode stuff, so you're also not clogging up your extra deck as much, which means you have more room for more RDA related plays, and even Buster Dragon for Despia. You have more text for more matchups, and you can even get up to 10,000 life points in this build, which you can't reliably do with Assault Mode. Powerful Assault Mode may be in other ways compared to Red Dragon Archfiend, like having more Omni Negates on board, and also just being able to blow up monsters on the opponent's turn. It's also worse in others. Both versions of the build are just fun across the board, but I do think the old school Red Dragon Archfiend with Witness Why I Am Known as the True King is the better way to play it. As for Assault Mode, just as a whole, I think both versions of the skill have their merits with the Red Dragon Archfiend build. The main thing to keep in mind is you kind of have to pick your poison. Some have given up Red Nova to play Bane, and I see the value to some extent, but I'd rather have Red Nova just in case I don't see the Assault Mode stuff. And thus, I kept my Assault Mode stuff to a bare minimum. Basically the 3 Reflectors and the 3 Assault Sentinels, and that's really just it. But with that, that's all I really have to say for this one. It was nice getting to see Yusei and Jack finally join forces for a proper double-deck profile. Probably the only time I'll get to do that. So, until the next video, whatever it might be, later guys.